Today I'm going to be the bearer of bad news, and I do apologize for the nature of this subject. It personally frustrates me greatly, and we're going to dive into it. In fact, this video, the hope of it is to cover what's happened, why it actually happened, what we can do as a community to learn from this and grow from this and take this away. But there's also kind of a storm brewing on the horizon, and so this video is going to touch on that here as well. Also, guys, I am still recovering from COVID-19. Got it again. If you guys haven't been keeping up with my updates, then that's okay. So forgive the sound of my voice. Also, I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet so we can kind of get through this together. And when you guys can take whatever action that you need, whether it's to support or to educate yourself, or I don't know. I don't know what the third option would be, but you can let me know if you have any other actionable takeaways from this video. First and foremost, what happened? The Fashionista, the YouTube channel that also has a great content that streamer highlights from Lulu, has been officially demonetized here on YouTube. And it's got a lot of people upset. There's also, interestingly enough, a group of people who aren't upset. They're actually kind of happy this happened, feeling that the Fashionista profits off of the work of others. And that's actually going to be a piece of this conversation that we're going to talk about here in this video. Because it is a viewpoint. I guess that's the best way to say. Probably a minority viewpoint, and I know I have a obviously inherent bias in the game and in how streamer highlights work. We'll talk about that a little bit here in a minute. Why did it happen? Well, it was reported by Lulu this morning that it was due to essentially kind of the policy that ends up being called the reuse content policy, which states promotion of other people's content, even if you have permission, is not allowed. What you might, hey, I have their permission to use their content. Yes, but you still haven't modified it. And I'm not throwing shade at the Fashionista channel at Lulu at all. Like, this is essentially a little bit of news to me. This is where reaction content in a weird way skirts the line, because it is transformative. And even if you slightly modify it, in this case, the YouTube's policy does not permit that. So how did this happen? Why did this happen? Is because of this policy. How? It could have been one of two things. People reported who didn't like being featured in the streamer highlights, or YouTube's content ID system matched those clips with the re-uploads or the other uploaded clips from other content creators, and eventually had to make a decision, and essentially fell down onto the Fashionista. So from a education perspective, just note for everybody out there who's in content creation or thinking about content creation, and was wanting to do something like that, you have to transform those clips with some commentary or some other thoughts, and maybe there'll be a way that the Fashionista can rebound, from this, this perspective. Now, from an action perspective, guys, the links to their channel below. They also have a Patreon and GoFundMe as they work to try and, I guess, fund the work of their channel and essentially their livelihood for that channel itself. I can speak personally, like, YouTube ad revenue isn't that much money, but maybe my ads just suck. I'm not sure. But at the end of the day, like, direct support from the community ends up being something that is, light years better than relying on any kind of, I guess, ads to run on the content itself. And that's really where the crux of the anti-movement comes in. And it doesn't matter, like, if that surprises you, note that no matter what, like, as you grow, there's always going to be another group that grows alongside you that doesn't like you. And that usually is a small minority, but they can be kind of vocal and biting from time to time. The worst part about it is when they kind of hit on something that you're already insecure about. I'm not going to let you know what that is for me personally, but I know that sometimes I see it in the comments and I go, ooh, ouch, they got me on that one. Now, I said I want to keep this short because I can already feel my voice starting to fade, and I knew I do need to go get some rest. But one of the core aspects is that when it comes down to it, this is going to be hopefully a good eye-opening lesson to everybody. Even with permission, you got to change up how things look when it comes down to reusable content, whether you want to meme it. Now, for me personally, I've always said you can meme me, you can if you want to go and use a clip from any of my streams or videos or whatnot, yeah, you have my permission to do so. I've always said that. I'm going to keep saying that. If you want to go above and beyond, it always is nice to link back. And that's where, like, when my opinion about all this comes into play, is that I think exposure is more important than somebody just reusing, you know, a clip or a little piece of content for myself. The question then comes into is like full videos, stream clips, and more. And I've seen a lot of channels popping up, for different clips and things like that all across the board. And this is where I think we're going with it. I think we're right on the cusp of something very big and something very sweeping when it comes to this kind of content. And if I go and look at like XQC right now, for example, almost like 80,000 people watching him watch shows. Now this is beyond stupid. This is just absolutely bat crazy. And here's the real reality of that kind of situation. This kind of goes beyond what happened with Fashionista, but this is legitimately pissing me off because this only hurts everybody except for the people who are like doing it. You know, so you look at XQC, all the big players, whether it's Twitch or not, it's just going to have these big companies that have things that I don't have. Money would be one of them. And they're going to go and they're going to push people around, and people are going to get worried, and they're going to, like, we see it happen all the time. And so when I see people like XQC and them doing this and being applauded for it, like, it really is disheartening. And then you see the news like today, Fashionista getting demonetized for generally promoting people within the community. And like, I haven't been featured over there. That's fine. I'm not jealous, but I know Chris has over on the Work to Game stream. And I think that's important. I think that's exciting to see. It's so cool to see when that happens. And I think it was a good community piece. And obviously I have my bias. And I think essentially if there was somebody who did want to get featured, like, I think maybe like it just makes a little bit more sense to make a list. But this isn't like, I think, internal to the community itself. This is a YouTube policy that prevents that limits that restricts that. And then you go over and you look at people who are just blatantly like poking bears on Twitch and realizing like this is just gonna get worse. It's a good, interesting, weird way to start off 2022. So lessons learned, guys. Be sure that you're gonna transform any videos. You have my permission to use mine, but still you got to transform it, or otherwise YouTube could slap you. And if you guys want to go throw some support or some love to the Fashionista, please do so. All right, I think my voice is about out. Thanks for your time, your attention, and hopefully you guys have a bright and wonderful day tomorrow. I will talk to you when I feel better, and hopefully that will be much sooner than than tomorrow. So anyway, take care, everyone. Good night.
I just want to say I'm really glad you're feeling better, and I love the videos. Well, I love you too, Michelle. Shoot for the moon, and so even if you fail, you'll reach the stars. Go for the 100K subscribers. Yeah.